If you open Microsoft Project and if it is your first time to define a project, you have some default settings that in case of need, you can change. For example, normal work hours or start day of the week, which is different in some countries. Project options. After opening Microsoft Project, the welcome page appears. In the bottom left, you can see the options. After clicking on it, in the General tab, you have User Interface options. You can enable or disable the tips. Project View. You can change the view page of your project, Gantt chart or resource graph or any options you need. We need Gantt with a timeline, so I selected. Change date format. Here you can see the date format. We can change this format according to our needs, according to how you feel comfortable with it. For example, the US format of date is month, day, and year. But the Europe format is the day, month, year. I change it to as day, month, year, like the Europe format, but without a day of the week. Personalize your copy of Microsoft Office. In this part, also you can change the name of the user. In addition, you can change the theme of the Microsoft project. I close and open it again to apply the changes. As you see, I've changed the theme of not only Microsoft Project, but also a theme of Microsoft Office programs like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and so on. A startup option. When I open Microsoft Project, you can see the welcome page. If you don't want to see this page, and directly after opening, you want to go through the blank page, go to Options, General, and uncheck Show the Start screen when this application starts. If I press on OK, then close the Microsoft Project and open it again, as you see, the welcome page is not shown. Okay, let's suppose that you have recently started your job. First, you need to be familiar with the contract. I mean, not your contract with the company, with the project contract. If you are on the client side, you need to be familiar with the contracts which are bind between the client and the contractors. If you are on the contractor side, you need to read the contract which is bind between your company and the client. So it gives you to be more familiar with the project scopes, currencies, and so much valuable information. Change currency. Mrs. Sam reads the contract and got the information that the project is in euros. She opens the Microsoft project of commercial construction and in View, select Resource Sheet. As you see, the price is in dollars. For changing this currency, go to File and Options. From the display, open Currency drop-down menu and select Euro. Simple. If I press on OK, you will see the currency is changed to euros. This is just one option we changed, But I want to show you other important options that will help you later. Scheduling options. The important tab in options is the schedule. In this tab, you can change the start day of the week, fiscal year or financial year, a start month, default start and finish hours, standard work hours in a day, week and days per month. I recommend you not to change the default settings here because later you will face decimal numbers. And also because we are working with virtual resources, which is a common measurement of the project, that's why I highly recommend not changing the default numbers. But under scheduling options for this project, I change it to all new projects. Then change new tasks created to auto-scheduled. You know what is auto and manual, right? If not, go through its lesson. Auto-schedule tasks scheduled on is about new tasks start date. I prefer, and it is good to set into project start date as default. Duration can be set into other formats like months and weeks, even minutes and hours. The best is day because other options than days can make people confused. And the best way to work is hours. Effort-driven. I prefer to uncheck the effort-driven box. What does that mean? When it is checked, the Microsoft project adds the resources to all tasks, even if your task does not have a resource. This option allows the Microsoft project to add a resource. That's why we prefer to uncheck it. I scroll it down. Here you can see the calculation option. It allows the scheduling engine algorithm to be on. We keep it on. Then press on OK. Here we made some changes. I highly recommend you to go back, open a blank project, and do all changes on the new project's options and save it. I have talked about the most common project options that are useful to change before starting the project. But in the meanwhile of the lessons, of course, we will face other options. So we come back to the options section and make changes. Now, after gearing up the basic settings, it is time to start planning a duplex building construction.